Alright, what's going on, y'all? So today is a new video. As you can tell, it is not a episode for Trading to Freedom. This is a different video. I'm gonna be backtesting today, just showing you my backtesting strategy and how I approach it. Everyone backtests differently. Some people believe that backtesting is pointless and you shouldn't rely on it, and some people believe that you need to backtest all the time. Me personally, I think backtesting is pretty important. I definitely think people overdo it. You can over backtest and put too many hours into it, but I think it's definitely helpful and good. Not only does it help with testing out your strategy, see if you're profitable, it just also helps you better understand the mechanics of the software that you're using. If you're using TradingView to chart and even to trade, and if you do backtest on TradingView on the replay, it just gets you more comfortable with the software. So I guess that only really applies if you're backtesting on TradingView, because I know you could backtest on FX replay, which is a little bit more accurate and a bit more advanced. So if you want to do more advanced backtesting, I'd say FX replay is your better option. But TradingView is also pretty good as well. I think it's very beginner friendly. And like I said, if you're trading on TradingView or even charting on TradingView, it's helpful to backtest because it helps you understand the software and the mechanics of it. And then also you're backtesting your strategy. I'm going to show you guys how I approach backtesting and what I do. And by the way, when I backtest, I only backtest on weekends, Saturday and Sunday, anywhere from as little as an hour to up to 4 hours in a day. I never backtest during the week, especially during trading days. I like to take a break. Like once I trade my morning, I like to I don't even look at the chart. Only a weekend thing for me. So that's why I'm posting this, so you guys can, take some inspiration. But yeah, so let me show you guys what I do and how I backtest. It's very simple and pretty straightforward. Basically, what I do is I go on the higher time frame. I'll get on like the 4 hour. I like to get on the 4 hours so I can see a bit more on like the daily. But I'll see what is market structure looking like right now, right? We deliver from sell side, right? And we hit all-time highs, and price looks like it's starting to come down to rebalance. So I'm going to look for a similar situation within the market, and that's what I'm going to replay too. Example right here. This is similar, right? Price came delivered from sell side, created all-time highs, and we start, delivering lower. So in here, I'm gonna try to find these setups in this margin right here, because this trend and this pattern may occur up here. Trying to replicate the live market as much as I can. Okay, so first thing I like to do is go ahead and find a new day. Typically I like to go find on a Monday, so I can skip through the days easy. But I'll find Monday market open, or for me it's 8 a.m. Central Time because I am in Central Time Zone. But for you guys in the East Coast, it's gonna be 9:30 obviously. So I marked out my 8 a.m. time right here. What I'll do is I'll let price kind of play around a bit before I actually go ahead and start trading here. So first thing I like to do is get on, I like to get on the daily chart, of course. Get on the daily chart and see what are we looking at right now. We're all-time highs, right? Previous daily Friday candle is a bearish candle that almost engulfed this candle. And it failed to manipulate this high, which tells me a lot. It tells me, okay, price wants to deliver lower because we have yet to break this high, right? So we no longer want to continue this momentum, not yet at least, and price is probably looking down to rebalance, right? And the fact that this low engulfs the previous day low, right, just gives me a little bit more confirmation that, okay, this next daily candle should be a bearish candle, because we also have some sell side imbalances here. We have some draw on liquidity down here as well. So the next candle should be bearish. Always want to start in a daily candle. It really tells you everything you need to know. That means I'm going to be taking shorts. All right, cool. Let me take this stuff out of the way. Then I'll get down to my hourly chart and start looking and marking out key levels. So we got buy side. We have some intermediate highs here. I like to mark these out to see if price is going to hold these highs or, these higher lows, or disrespect them. So intermediate high. And now I'm going to mark out some targets and where I want to see price deliver to, because I want to take shorts today. So what I'm looking for is price to take out this low. Okay. And then I'm also looking for price to come down and fill this imbalance right here. And by the way, if you guys are wondering why am I marking my gaps body to body rather than wick to wick, it's because when I watch a lot of the Inner Circle Trader. If you don't know who that is, it's like the mentor of mentors, the guy who really created ICT. And he told me that when you're marking out your imbalances and fair value gaps, you want to mark it body to body rather than wick to wick. Just in case you guys didn't know, you should, I recommend at least, to mark your candles from body to body for fair value gaps rather than wick to wick, so that you can get a true fill and understand the imbalance more. And what I think is going to happen, I think price is going to want to, chop down, come in, take out this low, and then respect this gap and then continue the bullish trend. That's my prediction, right? And then also we have some sell side right here that price may want to take out as well. These levels right here. So price may want to bounce off this level and then take out this sell side liquidity here. And why is this sell side? Why is this a high point of interest? Just in case anyone doesn't know, it's because this leg created this whole move, right? This huge move, right? This was a lot of orders were filled here. This leg created this huge expansion, so this makes this a point of interest because price is yet to manipulate it. So that's why this is important to mark out. But now that I have my key levels in the higher time frame, this is where I get down to a lower time frame. I start looking at sessions, market session movements. What has the previous session done, right? We look at Asia session, down, huge downtrend, right? This tells me a lot that we are still bearish. In London session, what it did is came up and filled this bearish imbalance here, right? And then pre-market instantly started delivering lower. Right, we also have this imbalance right here. So this would be a target right here. I'd be looking for price to potentially inverse this gap right here. Right, inverse this gap, and then look for a pullback, and then look for shorts to this low or that fair value gap that I marked out earlier. And see what market open wants to do. And like I said, treating this like a live session. So I want to see London high manipulation or just market open to open higher in general. And then I want to see this gap get inversed, and then I want to see price deliver lower, right? And also just a quick, I don't want to yap too much, but just to let you guys know, I'm gonna all these back tests, it's gonna be on New York session. So I'm gonna take one setup on New York session, and then that's it. I'm done for the day. Like if I lose or win that trade, I just clear the day out and I just move on to the next day. So I'll mark out Tuesday market open and just skip to that after one setup. Because I want to make it as realistic as possible. Like, I'm not going to trade London or Asia or PM. Like, these don't really matter to me. Like, because I'm day trading, right? There's different types of trading. There's day trading. There's swing trading, position trading, short-term trading, and intraday trading. I don't know. There's a few. But you got to figure out what are you, right? Are you a day trader? Are you a swing trader, position trader, or whatever the hell? But me personally, I'm a day trader. And I'm trading intraday within 5 to 15 minute period, 5 to 30 minute period, and that's day trading. So I only care about this market. I only care about New York AM session because that's the session I trade on. My time frame is from 8:30 Central to 11:30 Central. And so why trade anything else? Why backtest other sessions that you're not gonna do on the live markets? It doesn't make sense because every session moves in a unique way, right? Every session kind of moves in a unique way. So it's not going to be the same. Like PM and lunch, they like to consolidate a bit. They have very small trading ranges, right? Asia, people say Asia session is a terrible session trade. I actually disagree with that. I think it's the second best to trade. Asia likes to make some of the biggest expansion moves, and it's very consistent, right? I like Asia session a lot because it's very consistent. It's slow, but it's more of like an overnight trade. Like you don't really day trade Asia. I mean, at least me personally, that's what I think. And then London session, I don't know enough about London session. I just know that it usually creates the higher low for the week or day, and it tells us what New York wants to do. It kind of tells the story. But anyway, back to the actual backtesting session. Sorry, I just wanted to kind of inform you guys my thought process going into this. So let's let market open happen here. And let's see price. That's an AM. So yeah, as you can see, price comes into this fair value gap, starts respecting it. Okay, that makes sense. Let's see what price wants to do. And we are looking for shorts today. So I want to see a London high manipulation due to swing on the upside. So we'll see if that can get delivered to us. If not, then we don't trade this session today or this day. Yeah. Move my thing here so you guys can see what time frame I'm on here up here. All right, boom. So see if London highs are going to be manipulated. No, we just edged London highs. So maybe this probably created an SMT with NQ. I'm sure NQ swept that already. Okay, cool. So I have NQ pulled up on here as well. I forgot to do that at first. I should have done that at first because it actually it's kind of weird on TradingView when you're replaying both sessions at the same time. But by the way, you need to have the paid plan to do any of this. I'm sure most of you guys know that, but I have the essential plan. I really hate paying for this shit, but I had to, especially because I trade on Top Step and they don't provide, you can't trade that through TradingView or anything here. So, have a bearish SMT, right? So now what are we looking for? We're looking for the highest time frame inversion to and then to go down the sell side right here. So I'm gonna mark this out right here, and I want to see price inverse this gap, and then we get a tap back into the zone, and then I want to see price deliver lower. So let's let some candles play out here. We have lunch going in, but I want to, just for the sake of this trade, I'm gonna go through it anyway, just for the sake of the trade. And it's still at 11 a.m., so I would technically still be on the charts at this time. And if I were to see this presented, I'd probably end up taking this. But we'll just do this for the sake of the video, okay? All right, so cool. We have price coming. Price has inversed this gap right here. So now we're looking for a bit of a pullback. So let's look for a pullback, and we don't find it. I wouldn't have entered off of this because NQ. Right, we're just delivering. We aren't really pulling back. We aren't creating any really gaps in the market here. Now, we're going to sell a contract here. And put our short position order here. Stop loss. And TP. So, actually, I do think that price may want to manipulate these highs. So, I'm actually going to raise my stop loss a bit here. Stop loss, and then TP to the sync encroachment of the fair value gap. All right, so now let's let price play out and see how we do. So at this point, I'm going to start putting my stop loss to break even so we have a risk-free trade. And there it goes. So obviously, this isn't really a super likely scenario for me, right? But like I said, if I'm trading New York AM and I'm waiting, I don't see any setups, during AM session, and then I see lunch starting to create a setup for me, then yeah, I may attempt to take a setup here. So this isn't very far-fetched. Like, this isn't something that I wouldn't do. I definitely would do this, but it's not the highest probability. So that's first trade of the day. Let's move on to the second. We're gonna go on to Tuesday, and I'll show you guys how to do that. All right, cool. So what's pre-market doing? We're coming down to this fair value gap that I marked out earlier, right? This imbalance. So I want to see New York Open potentially sweep this sell side here before delivering, because I truly don't think market's gonna just reverse off this gap. I think it's gonna react, but it's not going to reverse because we still have some sell side liquidity. So let's let market play out here. We'll do the 1 minute, and we'll do 3 minute intervals. Actually, no, we'll move it to 1 minute intervals so it doesn't move too fast for us. So there's New York Open. All right, cool. So let's watch here and see what's happening. I gotta find the sell side on NQ here. So I want to mark out this leg actually specifically. See if we can. Okay, boom. So we've swept that sell side on NQ, creating another SMT. Now we have a bullish SMT. So now we're looking for a reversal pattern. Find the 5 minute inversion, which is right here. Perfect, beautiful. There's our 5 minute inversion. Let me take this value gap out so it's not in the way. Boom, we have the inversion, and now we are looking for price to tap in specifically right here. This little imbalance right here. I want to see price come in here, and I'll buy my first mini there. Oh, so here, like, people might want to enter off this and just straight go longs on here. This is a bad entry. Why? Because even though we've inversed on the 15 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute, right? Like, is this yeah, look at 15 minute inversion. We have candle closure above, right? This isn't an entry, especially if you're trading reversals, because, or even continuation, because what the fuck are you entering off? Like, Even if you entered off this small pullback, there's still an imbalance here, right? Your price likes to come all the way down to the nearest drawn liquidity, which is here, that because it generated liquidity, so it's gonna come down to the generated liquidity, then continue the move, right? Go to possibly London lows, and then all this generated resistance here, London highs, Asian highs, okay? This is price goes to the nearest draw on liquidity, right? If we don't get a pullback to this level, then I'm not entering. It's simple as that. And look at that. People that entered off this big, jump here are fucking shitting. They're shitting bricks now because they're like, oh shit, now it's getting choppy. Probably their stop loss is around here. So price is going to come straight to that stop loss. I mean, I would assume. Or it'll just play out. We don't know. And boom, there it is. There's that retracement there, right? So now I'm going to enter a long position. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Now we go ahead and let this play out, right? Watching NQ as well. Let's go ahead and let that play. And if it retraces even deeper, right, you could enter another mini here, right, off this other retracement because the price is still coming down to rebalance. But me, I don't want to, like, if I'm on a live account, I'm not going to try to over leverage and risk too much, right? Because anything could happen, right? So let's just keep this at 1 mini and see how price plays out. Right, price is coming down even lower. It might actually stop us out because ES is close to taking the AM low out, but NQ isn't. So NQ probably would have been a safer trade. But let's just let it play out. Okay, boom. So what went wrong? Let's talk about it. Right? Right here. This sell side liquidity. Yes, it was swept at NQ, but ES has yet to sweep it. ES wants to take the sell side out. That's on us. We didn't consider that, right? So it's just take that loss to the chin. Okay, sweet. Now we are at 8 a.m. We're at the 8 a.m. candle for Wednesday. Okay, we have NQ on the right, ES on the left. We'll go to the daily candle on ES and see what are we looking for. What are we taking out here? Okay, cool. So let's go to NQ first as well as that's reset. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. So what do we have here? We have bullish SMT, right? Because look at NQ swept that low, but ES held it. ES did not sweep that low. So we have a bullish SMT, right? Now I want this candle. I want to see this candle manipulate this high, right? This high of this daily candle. I want to see this candle manipulate this high. So we're on the hourly here. On ES here. What are our draws? So we have this hourly imbalance right here. Price may want to come down here and deliver before delivering to these intermediate highs that I marked out. These are high point of interest. So I'm definitely looking for longs. I'm looking for a reversal to the upside. React off this imbalance. And then just continue up. Right? So let's just see how it plays out and what it does. On the 15-minute chart here, and then we have 30-minute on NQ. If you're looking for, let's say you're coming into your Trade New York AM session, right? And you're like, all right, I want to see longs today. Your daily bias is bullish or your daily bias is bearish, and you want to look for shorts or you want to look for longs. If you're looking for shorts that day, you want to see ES, manipulate high. You want to see, AM session open higher and create that Judas swing, that fake out. If you don't know what a Judas swing is, fucking search that shit up. You want to look for that Judas swing from the upside, right? If you're looking for longs, then you want to see New York open lower and create that Judas swing via sell side. Just a quick tip, because that's usually how New York opens or how New York works. It likes to create that initial move is usually the low for the day or the high for the day, the fake out, and sometimes it likes to take out its initial high or low for the day, like with market open, right? New York will create a low. Sometimes it likes to take out its low and then deliver to those highs, or vice versa. It creates a high right off the rip, comes down, manipulates the high, then comes down again. You kind of notice it when you start, the more and more you trade New York at session, you kind of notice the pattern it likes to make and what it likes to do. Letting these candles play out, right? Price ends up coming in and respecting this high, this this gap so far. We have yet to fill it completely, but let's see if we can find anything here. I'm not looking for long setups here at all. I'm looking for price to come even lower before looking for any longs. If price wants to deliver off of this gap, that's okay with me. I just won't trade. Cool. We have this 1 minute inversion here. This isn't really enough for me to get in here. We haven't even filled this fair value gap that much yet. We still need to come down even lower. We pull out the fib here. All right, we want to see at least below the 0.5 level. So let's see if price will do that and deliver lower. Okay, cool. Come down in contra encroachment of the fair value gap. So let's find a reversal pattern here. Okay, cool. We get an inversion here now. Candle closure above this 1 minute gap. Let's mark that out. Okay, and an NQ is also showing, you know, relatively the same movement here. So now let's look for a pullback into this level here. A couple candles play out. If we get a pullback, we enter longs. If we don't enter. So let's see if we can get a pullback here. I'm gonna mark out this gap. This fair value gap right here. Oh, sorry. Gonna mark out this gap that, and can I please click fucking shit, dude? Let's get the fib out and mark out this level here. Cool. We want to see price get below that 0.5 level, and then we can enter, right? Let's get a Q candles going. Boom. That's perfect for us. We kind of got hoed there, but let's do a long position. Fuck, I entered on fucking ES or NQ. Oh. Okay. Stop loss at for this, I want to put it to that AM low, right? So we are comfortable and good. And what are we going to target? Let's see what our targets are in the higher time frame. Let's go on the 5 minute here. I guess the lower time frame. We have, look at this. We have this London order block right here mixed with the fair value gap. So this would be a target for me right here. I don't know how I'm already plus 255. I have no idea how, but we'll let that, let that cook, I guess. Okay, let's go ahead and let price play out. All right, at this point, I'm going to break even. Risk-free trade. Continuing to hold. All right, and now this choppy movement, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Right, we're already out of AM session. We're starting to chop up and inverse here. This is where I would either do an early exit. We're gonna just hold and just see if it plays out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Right. Boom. We ended up just break even trade, which is a lot better than a losing trade. Still win in my book. Right? Maybe we should have been less greedy and went for partials here. That's something to learn. This is all learning process. Let's do one more day and then end it off there. We have market open marked out right here. This dotted line right here. Let's get on the higher time frame and start analyzing what we have here. So this NQ is my right. Yes, my left still. We still have yet to take these intermediate highs that I've marked out, and this buy side imbalance, but still it tells us that, okay, we have a higher time frame reversal, because look at this, right? We inverse this gap, close above it. It's actually come down lower and then continue this trend up. We're looking for price to maybe come down to this wick here and then continue up to these intermediate highs. Let's get down to the hourly. Yeah, high point of interest right here, because look at this leg created this expansion and chop here. Oh yeah, so we're definitely gonna look for a pullback here. You see here, we're looking for price to come into this level in the 15 minute. Yeah, right here, this is definitely a point of interest for me. I want to see price come that deep before actually entering longs. And let's let price play out. Boom, there's that open. I kind of went too fast here. All right, so what do we have here? We have London Asia session and Asia high and London high manipulation, which is perfect for us. Let's get down to lower time frames and see if we can find a lower time frame inversion. Cool. So we find a 5 minute inversion right here. Where is my box? There it is. Boom, boom, boom. There's our inversion. Now we want to see price come back into this level. Let's go pull out the fib. See price come back into above 0.5, around 0.65, 0.7 before we actually enter. So yeah, we're looking for price to come up to this level a little bit. Let's get some candles open. Boom, right here. That is a perfect retest and retracement. We're going to go for this. Our sell stop's going to be this body right here, this wick high. No, actually, I'm gonna do this body high right here, and then our TP. Looking for this level right here. All right. So now we let market play out and see if we were right. Wow. What happened here? London, price ended up manipulating London lows and then came up to the session highs. What I should have done and what I did wrong here is I set my TP to Asia session lows, but I should have set it to London lows, and that would have been a good, that would have been a great trade. But I'm glad I make the mistakes on the backtesting rather than live session. New York reverses off London highs and London lows. That's why the London session is so goddamn important. All right, so that's about it for the backtest session. I know it's not like I won a whole lot. We ended off losing $400. 3 trades, lost 400 over those three days. But it's really good. I learned a lot. Should probably keep my TP a bit tighter, not over leveraging as much as well. That's how I backtest. It's really simple and straightforward. A longer process because I'm always skipping through days and I'm only taking one setup per AM session. So you're not able to get a whole lot in. That's why my backtesting sessions are 1 to 4 hours, because I'm trying to make sure I'm getting exact market conditions that are relative to what I'm going to be trading, right? So that's about it for today. If you guys have any questions or concerns about my backtesting, leave a comment down below. Also follow my Instagram. I leave it up here. It is gio.mayorga with 2 A's. DM me on there. I respond to everyone who DMs me on Instagram. That's about it for today's video. Peace out, y'all. I'll see you guys in the next video.